In the world of darkness, there's a game called Vampire: The Eternal Struggle. Players are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The company, Black Chantry, who writes the rules, and the podcasters, like the Waterdog, who complain about them. These are their stories.
Greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations. So I'm with my man Sid, Provider Vampire, brother. How's it feel to be a winner?
Oh, it feels good to finally have the monkey named Kelly Lyons off my back.
How eyes?
Oh man, the MVP, if you go ask Sid of Game 2, 4 Renegade Gurus.
Brad Cash Dollar.
What's happening?
Hard money.
That's me, baby. That was a hard tournament.
Hard tournament?
Sheesh.
I know all about round 3.
Yes.
Tell them how you killed me.
We're gonna do the VTES thing, kinda like a vampire thing. How come I don't wanna be in this web? Madness network is in my head, I'm losing it.
And welcome to Reading Between the Lines. 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 So let's get to the tough one. What's your favorite vampire?
Okay, so that is a great question. You know, I hate to go back to this vampire, but I've always loved playing Basilia. Basilia is my favorite vampire.
All right, so this is going to be weird.
Okay.
But Anarch Convert.
Anarch
Convert.
Because you can put him in any deck?
It just changed the game.
I'll pick Luke Fellas. I have this Luke Fellas deck that I've taken to a couple finals and I've won with. And his special is really underrated.
The waterdog is now 14. He has been made anathema. Or as he would always say, anthema.
All right, Chris. Long time coming, man.
It's been a long time coming, yeah.
So when was the last time you did win?
Last time I won a tournament was 2008. Wow. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Whenever he plays Game Girl, he's my predator.
I feel that, dude.
I don't think. Honestly, I've asked Matt. I said, "Have I ever ousted you?" I have never ousted Matt Hatch. No way. Never.
But here I am again, being bled by my friends, having every political action cost me 3 moons.
I am your host, the Water Dog. 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 Our third card is what I would call a Water Dog card because a lot of people don't play with this card at all. And it's called Quick Exit. And I call this a Water Dog card because it seems like to me I'm like one of the very few people that plays with these cards. And this is a Water Dog card.
Water dog, rough. I like it, rough.
Today's video is brought to you by KGS Cards. If you need Vampire: The Eternal Struggle products, go to KGS Cards at www.kgs-cards.com. Tell them the Water Dog sent you. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Reading Between the Lines. I am your host, the Water Dog, and today is the 100th episode of my vampire show. 100th episode. We've done some other things with VTES and stuff before, but this is like the 100th piece of, I guess you would say, player, information, advice, interviews, all that type of stuff. And so the 100th episode, it's kind of a mini milestone, but it's a milestone nonetheless. And I kind of wanted to do something special for you, my audience, since you've been kind of watching me ever since I kind of started doing these VTES videos about 3 years ago. Before I do that, though, would you please do me the kind favor of hitting that subscribe button? You know how much it means to me. I really do appreciate it, gang. This channel started during COVID, and I started the channel as a video review or a movie review channel, just a classic movie review channel. I had to have something to do because I teach school. School was shut down. Couldn't go anywhere because we're locked in. And so for 3 months, what else are you going to do? Well, I decided to do some YouTube video critiques, movie critiques. And I did things like, the Ten Commandments, the Sons of Katie Elder, the Hustler. And I just did some movie reviews, and that's kind of what I did. And then after COVID ended, well, that was it. I stopped using the channel. But then when I started my vampire group up at the store, I said to myself, well, what I need to do is just kind of do some short videos for these guys so they can kind of know some of the things and some of the cards, some of the mechanics, and that'll be useful. And then I thought, well, I got a channel. I've already got a YouTube channel. Why don't I just make it for everybody, but, give it my guys the access to it as well. And if people respond to it, great. And you know what? People have responded to it, And so the channel's just grown. I remember when we first started, we were around, I don't know, I guess 45 subscribers from the movie subscribers and stuff. We were around 45 or something like that. Now we're over 500. We're approaching 600 subscribers. I've been fortunate enough to work with Black Chantry Productions on giving, some sneak peeks of some cards, and be able to work with KGS Cards with Carl Schaefer, and get some promotion stuff done. So I've been very fortunate. And so I do want to let you know how much I appreciate it. That includes all the people that, catch me through the Discord channel on VTES, Facebook, you hit me up a lot. But particularly the YouTube subscribers. You YouTube subscribers is what makes this YouTube channel work. If you notice right over here, I'm going to be putting up the names of the people that definitely comment. What I'm looking for, because I love feedback. So the people that have made comments on my YouTube channel that are YouTube subscribers, that's really what I appreciate, because it gives me feedback. It lets me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. And so all of these people have chimed in, dozens of people, and I really do appreciate the feedback. When you want to correct me, because I need to be corrected, when something's working, when something's not working, that type of thing. So I do appreciate the feedback. I do want to give a special shout out to 5 of the subscribers who pretty much have been with me since I started the channel and have always pretty much watched the videos and given me good feedback. So I want to recognize them out loud, and that's at Ted Peichel, at Logan Jameson Hatch 5050, at ADM 5893, and at Damon Faust. And most importantly, probably the biggest one he just comments and he helps me out a lot. He's been one of my best subscribers that I could ask for, and that's at Poker Pillar. So Poker Pillar, brother, I appreciate all the help you've given me with the channel and the support you've given. So I just wanted to give a big shout out for all that. So that being said, man, we got the Dance Macabre 3 coming up next. The big Gulf Coast Roast Grand Prix coming up next. So we got a lot of things going on, and that all gets kick-started December the 3rd. Okay, we got, a big podcast we're going to do, Darby and the Waterdog. Darby's going to go over some stuff. And so, hey, man, it ought to be fun. And then that's on a Wednesday night. Thursday night, we're going to be Oust the Waterdog. And then Friday, we have the big draft. Now, the big draft, gang. I saved for 2 years and searched and bought boxes of VTES cards. And we're starting with 3rd edition. Okay, so we're going to draft 3rd edition, go into something like the Black Hand. Oh, wait. And then how about some, Gehenna, okay? Hey, how about some Kindred Most Wanted, okay? Then we're going to go into, Lords of the Night. And just because I have extra boxes, why not? We're going to do some Dark Sovereigns. So it's going to be a chaos draft. We're going to have boxes enough to support, many players, to have some fun with that. That's going to be on the Friday night. We're actually going to have a tournament before that. Okay, there's going to be a standard tournament before that, but then we have the draft that Friday night. Saturday is the Gulf Coast Roast. It's the last event for our Grand Prix circuit for Gulf Coast Roast number 2. And then on Sunday, we're going to have the Gulf Coast Roast Finals, and then we'll have one more tournament. So the Dance Macabre 3, come on down to Vidor, Texas, brother. As of today, and after talking to several people and getting feedback, this much I can tell you: we're going to have 10 of the top 15 U.S. players playing in this tournament. There's going to be some guys down here playing. We even got Ben Pill from Black Chantry going to be coming down. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We got Clint Jordan. He's going to be cooking some brisket for us for Friday, so we're going to have a nice brisket lunch. A lot of things. Dance Macabre, December 3rd through the 7th. Come on and come check us out. All right, let's get to the good stuff, man. I thought to do something special for y'all for this 100th episode. I would give you some deck tech that I would not normally share, simply because I kind of keep some of my fun decks to myself. These are decks that I like to play casually, so I don't really kind of like blurt out with the deck list and stuff like this. I've talked about some of these decks on my channel before, and I have talked about this particular deck, and so I am going to be playing this deck at the Dance Macabre on the Casual Thursday. So if you want to know what I'm playing Thursday, well, then you're gonna have it right here. I call it my Avenger deck, is what I call it, simply because it's gonna have one of my favorite vampires in the game. The name of this deck is Avenger, and it's based really on two vampires more than anything else. The first vampire, we're going to call him our Batman, and that's Al-Muntaquim the Avenger. Okay, he is a true Brujah. He is one of my favorite vampires. I've been playing this deck now for handful of years. I bring him out, pretty much like every couple of months because I just like playing him, and he being the Batman. The Robin to the deck is Afifa the Herald. Okay, and so those are the two vampires that I concentrate when I look at this deck. And like I said, I've been playing this deck for a handful of years. It's gone through different manifestations. The incarnation that I'm going to show you today is more of a toolbox because you can really play, Avenger and Afifa. You can play those two for combat. You can play them for bleed. You can play them toolbox. I'm going to show you more of a toolbox version where you're doing a little bit of this, that, and the other. And really because British Museum had come out, and I do like using British Museum with some of these one vampire type concepts, you got to throw that in there as well. But let's look at our lead characters. So let's start with the Avenger, Al-Muntaquim. He is a true Brujah, 8 capacity. He's got little blank, little asterisk, big mouth, big fist, and big bracelet. And I mean, he is just a wonderful vampire. He's an independent. During your unlock phase, you can burn a Caitiff you control to give Al-Muntaquim a +1 bleed until the end of the game. After a Gehenna event is played, he can unlock. He cannot use cards requiring celerity. He is scarce. All right. A couple of big things about it. First off is that during your unlock phase, if you've got a Caitiff on the field, you can burn that Caitiff and give him a permanent 1 bleed for the rest of the game. Pretty simple. You burn one, get a +1 bleed. So it's very easy to do, right? Makes it great, okay? The second thing is if you play a Gehenna card, he unlocks. Pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. So there's a lot of different things you can do with that, okay? And so that's why I like him. You've got that. And so what makes him special now is going to be the fact that he's got his Robin, and that Robin is Afifa the Herald, okay? Afifa is a Caitiff, of course. 1 capacity. Guess what? He's got tiny, tiny chain. Little dominate there, man, okay? Camarilla, when you put a Gehenna card in play, your prey burns 1 pull. If you do not put a Gehenna card in play during your discard phase, a ready vampire you control other than Afifa burns 1 blood, or you burn 1 pull. Now, they work good, hand in hand together. It's like peanut butter and jelly, bro. It's great. And if you know anything about me, I like alternative winning conditions, okay? So the idea that I can do a point of pull damage to my prey, okay, by just putting a Gehenna card in play, okay, do a pull damage and get an unlock, And I'm sorry, but that's pretty good, okay? So I do like that, and I've been playing around that and playing around those 2 vampires. And when you get to the point to where you don't have Gehenna cards in hand, what do you do with Afifa? Well, during the unlock, you just go ahead and toss her into, the Avenger, and he's got a +1 bleed. Guess what? Next turn, you influence her right back out. And she just comes right back out. So you just do it over and over and over again for a few turns and stuff, and all of a sudden you've got a +4 bleeding vampire, that has a lot going on for it. So, like I said, this is a fun deck to play. It's too awkward and too slow to probably play in a tournament in today's meta, because today's meta is just so fast, it's so strong. The synergy of V5 is just really, really powerful. And I mean, the deck would play okay. I mean, I'm sure you could probably maybe get me a VP here and there. I just don't ever see it winning a tournament. But it is fun to play. And when you're playing casual, as much as I like to play casual, which is I'm going to be playing this deck, that Thursday night on the Oust the Water Dog. Beat this deck and you get an Oust the Water Dog card, okay? Here's what it looks like. If you've never beaten me before at one of these events, that's an Oust the Water Dog card. All of our promo cards that we do, that we self-make for ours are playable in our casual events. So this is a card that's playable in our casual stuff. Yeah, get you a good Oust the Water Dog card. I like throwing these ideas out. And so if Ben can oust me, he can get him an Oust the Water Dog card, and maybe he might like the idea of that card and decide that could be a card for the game, which is one of the reasons why I designed the cards, okay? But we've made a handful of cards that we've given out to players as promos that can be played in the store for our casual events, and this is one of them. And so there you go, Oust the Water Dog card. There you go. Anyway, getting back to this deck. So when we're talking about the Crypt for this deck, we're going to run 5 Owls. 5 Al-Muntaquim the Avengers. We're going to run 4 Afifa the Heralds, okay? And then we're going to add Sennadurek. Sennadurek, oh yeah. I want to say that's Nagaraja. Yeah, Nagaraja. Hope I'm saying that right. Nagaraja, Nagaraja, Nagaraja. There we go. But anyway, those vampires are, very, very scarce. But we're going to play with one of her because of what she can do. You ready? She is a 6 capacity vampire. She got a little chain. She got big eye and big skull. Big eye, big skull. I love it. Sabbat vampire. Black hand. Whenever Methuselah loses the edge when it is not your turn, Sennadurek unlocks, and you may look at that Methuselah's hand scarce. So she gives you some great protection. Not only does she have the little chain, she's got the big eye, she's great for bouncing. That's what she is. She's just great for bouncing. You put her in there to protect you, okay? And she has that dominate, okay? So you can, play those great bounce cards, that you have. And with the big eye, of course, that falls right in hand with that. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden you're able to play deflection and telepathic misdirection with her. She can play either one. So that's really, really good, okay? Then we're going to add Dr. Solomon Gray, because he's a Caitiff. And he's got, 2 capacity. He's got little chain, little asterisks. He's a Camarilla. Burn 1 pool if Solomon enters play. That doesn't bother me that much. But he's 2 capacity. And so with that little dominate, guess what he can do? He can also bounce. Okay? He can also bounce. And then when you've exhausted him, you can burn him into the Avenger. There you go. Anarch convert. Okay? He is a Caitiff. He's 1 capacity Anarch. And as the convert enters play, you can remove him from the game to make a non-titled vampire you control Anarch and either gain 1 pool or draw 1 card from your Crypt. There you go. So if you don't actually have Al in the opening, this gives you a way to kind of help you with your Crypt. And then also, if you got Al into play, you can put Anarch convert into play, and then you can then put him in there for the +1 bleed later. Just go ahead and burn him for the +1 bleed later with Al. And so all the vampires, except for Anarch Convert, that is going to be helping the Avenger out. Good old Al is going to have Dominate, okay? And Sennadurek is going to also have big aspects to help us with some bounce as well. And so that library just kind of helps what the Avenger does. There you go, that's your Crypt. Now the Crypt can take form in a lot of different ways as you would want to play it. You can play with more Caitiffs than that. You know what I'm saying? You can play with, I've played it with Keith Moody before. Okay, I played it with some low capacity, superior dominate vampires as backups in this deck. So all of that works. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But the meat and potatoes to me is, the Avenger and the Herald. The Avenger and the Herald. Those are the two you want. And those are the two that really define the Crypt of this deck. All right, toolboxy wise, that's kind of how we built this one for this version. Toolboxy wise, we're going to go to master cards. We got 21 master cards, 4 of them are trifles. We're going to start with 6 British museums because we're going to want to do a lot of unlocking in this deck. Okay, we're going to do as much unlocking as we can possibly do with the vampires that we have. And of course with the cards we're going to utilize. It's going to start with the British Museum. It's a great card. It's it's 2 capacity, gives you the +1 hand size, which helps. And then of course your non-electronic, non-vehicle, non-weapon equipment. You're going to be able to get an unlock with that. Okay, so you're going to be able to get an unlock with that, and you're going to get cost reduction. Okay, equipment cards that your minions play are going to cost them 1 less blood or pool to equip. And the key to that is just making sure that you're playing it from your hand to get all this good stuff. So it's playing it from the hand. So it's a really great location. 3 dominate cards because we do want to put some skill cards. You want to give the Avenger some dominate. And if you can get 2 skill cards on him, that falls into Inklecog later. You want to use the Inklecog, it falls into it later and helps that out. Carl Schaefer says play with the Giant's blood. You know what I do now? I play with the Giant's blood. Because Carl Schaefer told me to. There you go. Golconda Inner Peace. If I need to burn my own Avenger, I want this in the deck. And also it's just a way to do 2 pool damage maybe to my prey or predator or whatever. But the real reason it's in there is if I have to burn out, if they've got my vampire and Topor and I can't rescue Avenger from Topor, this is a way to get it out of Topor. I've got another way to get it out of Topor, but this is a way to get it out of Topor, get it off the field so I can bring up another Avenger, and so I'll just Golconda myself. Guardian Angel, hey, +1 intercept against the bleeds. You're going to be spending some time unlocking. Okay, the card comes in play, unlock, right? And when that happens, you've got +1 intercept against the bleeds, and you can protect yourself for 1, so it's really good with that. Monastery of Shadows gives you another +1 hand size. Lock to give a vampire capacity 8 or more +1 stealth. And so it's a way to get some stealth. It's a way to get a hand size. There you go. Good card. There we go. We're going to play with 1 Obfuscate card. We've got Inferior Obfuscate. You get Superior Obfuscate, and that's not bad either, right? So we're going to play with another skill card. Play with the Perfectionist, a way to regain the blood that we are spending. A Secure Haven. This is so that this kind of protects you against some of the rushes that you may find yourself in, particularly in today's meta where there's just so much combat, and we're going to probably see a whole lot here at the Dance Macabre 3, especially with the new Path of Cain deck coming out. I can foresee several people rushing. There you go. Tabriz Assembly is a true Brujah card. It also has the burn option, Unique Master. Put this card in play, your hand size is 1 card larger, so this is another way to increase your hand size. During your unlock phase, a true Brujah you control gains 1 blood from the blood bank. Any vampire can call a referendum to burn this card as a +1 stealth political action. In that referendum, you get 1 additional vote. So if they want to take the action to burn it, great. Nice thing about this card, it doesn't cost you anything. So hey, increase your hand size. Maybe you get a couple of hunts out of it before they finally decide that they want to vote it off the table. I have yet, knock on wood, I have yet had anybody call a referendum to get rid of this card. In all the years I've played it. So, knock on wood. Hey, 2 vessels. You know how I am. I am partial to vessel. Love vessel. And so the big thing is it's a trifle. 2 valens, you know. The main thing that we're looking at doing is really getting out Al. We're going to get out Afifa. When we get into a position, we'll try to get out Sennadurek. But the main thing is getting out Al and Afifa. And I don't expect to spend more than about 12 to 14 pull on minions. Is where I really want to go to. If I hit a good Valen, or if I'm able to generate pull with the game win and get Sennadurek out, that type of thing. But I don't want to spend a whole lot of pull. I really am concentrating on just the Avenger and just the Herald. There we go. So that's the master cards. Let's go to action cards. And like I said, you can play this deck in a variety of ways. I'm playing this very toolboxy, so we're playing with 14 different actions. The first one is a Bum's Rush. That gets us into a combat. Clotho's Gift is really good because what we're concentrating on more than anything else is the superior, temporis power, the bracelet power. At the superior, put this card on this acting vampire beginning with your next turn. Once during each of your minion phases, this vampire can burn 1 blood to unlock. So it's, better than a Rooter's Hand. It's less expensive and you don't have all the penalty downside for it. At worst, you can use it for inferior obfuscate to move the top card of your crypt to your uncontrolled region. So if you wanted to do that, you could. You can move 2 blood from the blood bank to a younger vampire in your uncontrolled region, okay? So it kind of acts like a govern as well. But my major emphasis of using this more than anything else is going to be using its superior ability. I have used it for the inferior temporis ability before, because sometimes you just got to have the pull. Sometimes you got to have the pull, and so it's there. Govern the Unaligned, we got one of those. We're going to have a Grave Robin. Why not? We're playing Dominate. We got a Harass, another enters combat. Rapid Healing, if we do find ourselves in Topor, this is an action that we can take in Topor because guess what? We've got superior fortitude. We got the big mountain. And Rapid Healing says +1 stealth action only usable by a vampire in Topor. At the inferior, the acting vampire leaves Topor. If the vampire is blocked, there is no combat. If the blocking minion is a vampire who can commit diablerie, that vampire may diablerize the acting vampire. At the superior is an as above, and the acting vampire gains 1 blood from the blood bank. So even if you've got no blood and you're in Topor, you can still take the action. Avenger's at superior. If you're successful, you're going to come into play with blood on you. So it's a way to get out of Topor. Like I said, you're going to find yourself from time to time in Topor, and I've had to use a couple of ways to do it. I've either had to try to rescue or ask for a rescue. Don't forget to ask for rescues because sometimes people will do it for you. Your allies will help you on occasion, so ask for the rescue. Doesn't hurt. The worst anybody can ever say to you is no, so ask for the rescue. But then you've got to have some options for yourself, and Rapid Healing is one of them. I love Restoration, especially when I'm playing with a multi-acting vampire. That's going to do a lot of things. You'll see a lot of restorations, for example, in my daughter's deck because they multi-act. And, I'm doing, I love to play choir because I love alternative winning conditions. So you play a lot of choir, you're playing some harmonizes and stuff like that. And you want to be able to multi-act. A lot of this type of stuff that you're going to have to do costs you blood. And so because of that, you want to refill, okay? And so this is an action that you can take to refill some of the blood that you've spent, okay? So there you go. 2 Summon Histories. It's a great Temporis card. It's probably the most widely played Temporis card. It's going to have a factor of X, so you're just going to put X into it. At the inferior, search your library, shuffle afterward, and/or ash heap for an ally, retainer, or equipment whose cost is X or less, and put that card in play on this vampire and with life equal to its starting life if applicable. There you go. At the superior, you can search your crypt, shuffle afterwards, and/or ash heap for a non-scarce vampire with capacity X or less, and put that vampire in play with no blood. So, what Summon History can do for you is it's going to help you, get some of the equipment stuff that we're going to be playing with. Or, I've had to do this, I need to go get a FIFA. I'm going to Summon History of FIFA, and the great thing, it's going to cost me 1. It'll cost me 1. So there you go. Well, summon history. That's the actions. Let's go to the equipment, and because we're playing with British Museum and everything, we're going to have a lot of different types of equipment, but we're going to start off with a weapon, a 44 Magnum. I mean, why not? Get you a 44 Magnum out there. It's one of the best defense cards in the game. Cost you 2 pull, but you know what? You get that 2 range damage with an optional maneuver during combat. That's hard to beat. It's just one of the best combat cards in the game. But to get us kick-started into the fun stuff, an Aaron's Feeding Razor, so that if I hunt, I'm hunting for 2. I get the +1 hunt. Using British Museum, this isn't going to cost me anything, okay? All right, and I get the unlock for equipment, so there you go. Blood Tears of Kefren is just another way to refuel, doesn't cost anything. Changeling Skin Mask is one of my favorite cards, particularly when I'm playing these one vampire type style decks. The Changeling Skin Mask costs you a pull. It's a unique equipment. The vampire with this equipment has superior obfuscate. The vampire with this equipment may burn to get +2 intercept for the current action. 2 great things. Number 1, you get the superior obfuscate. So if I don't hit my skill card, maybe I hit my equipment card, or I can summon history my equipment for this, which I've done before too, okay? And don't forget that you can burn it for the 2 intercept. This often surprises people from time to time that, how are you getting 2 intercept? I'm burning my Changeling Skin Mask. Really, really good, especially when you're getting down, to the nitty gritty and you've got to have a block or you're dead, that type of thing. So, really good card for that. I do like the Changeling Skin Mask. Cooler, another way to add blood on my vampire. Flak Jacket, a way to protect my vampire. Darby Keeney has sold me on the Heart of Cheating. Play with the Heart of Cheating, so I play with it. When the pros tell you to do things, you just do it. You just do it. So you play with this. This is so that you can cycle cards and rock and roll. Palatial Estate, it's your own built-in hunting ground. It's your own built-in hunting ground. And so you'll notice that a lot of these cards help feed my vessel. So this is also a way to gain pull, and it's also a way to protect myself during the unlock. So if I'm having to face things like Smiling Jack, or if I'm having to face things like Anarch Revolt, anything where you have to pay a penalty in your unlock, not your master, but your unlock. And if you're having to pay the penalty during your unlock, you've got to be able to generate some pull. That's one of the reasons why I like Vessel over Blood Dog, and Vessel over Valen to a certain extent, depending upon the deck that you're playing. So you notice I'm playing with 2 Vessels and 2 Valens in this particular version of this deck, and I like the fact that it helps me get protection. The Sargon Fragment. Cost you a pull, but with the British Museum, it's going to cost you nothing. It's unique. The vampire gets superior necromancy. This vampire can move 1 library card from your ash sheet to your hand as an action that costs 1 blood. And so, if you want to reclaim a card from your ash sheet, you can do so with this card. And so, for example, if I burn my Changeling Skin Mask to get 2 intercept, I can take an action to get it back. Pretty good. Pretty good. Signet of King Saul, another great piece of equipment, because if your prey or predator has got the big vampires, this helps protect you from them. You know what I'm saying? Matasuntha becomes worthless. Okay, Ged becomes worthless when it comes to blocking. Okay, they can't block you. Okay, you got this piece of equipment, can't block you. Vampires of capacity 8 or more cannot attempt to block the bearer. So having this piece of equipment is just a great piece of equipment to have, and using the British Museum, once again, doesn't cost you. Sport Bite, just for the added intercept, and so that is your equipment. Let's go to Retainer. We're only going to have 1. Mr. Winthrop for the intercept, just to have an intercept. There you go. Action modifiers, and I did have a couple of necromancy action modifiers in here before. I think I've taken them out on this list, but you could add a couple simply because you are playing with the Sargon Fragment and you are playing with Sennadurek. So if you wanted to add 1 or 2 modifiers that require necromancy, or even an action that requires necromancy, then you could do that, and that goes well with the deck, okay? Because the Sargon Fragment gives you superior necromancy, don't forget, and Sennadurek already has superior necromancy, so there you go. But in this version, I've taken the necromancy cards out just for a little bit more synergy in some certain areas, and so that's what we're doing. We're going to start off. There's 20 action modifiers. We have Cloak the Gathering. We have 6 Domain of Evernight. This is a Temporis Obfuscate card. At the Obfuscate, you can get +1 stealth. At the inferior Temporis, if this action is blocked, all damage done to vampires in the resulting combat is aggravated. And of course, this is the card that is played hand in hand with Outside the Hourglass. And we'll get to Outside the Hourglass here when we get to the combat cards. But that is the card that kind of goes with that. But for my purposes, I don't use it so much for combat as I'm using it for unlock. Superior, only usable when an action is successful. Usable after resolution. Unlock the acting vampire. Vampire can only play 1 Domain of Evernight at Superior each turn. Okay? And so it helps you with your unlocks. Okay? So once again, a lot of unlocks. A lot of unlocks, always trying to figure out ways to unlock. Elder Impersonation, one of them. 2 Inkle Cogs, because if we do get the 2 skill cards on our guy, guess what? We're bleeding for another +1, and we can take an action during somebody else's turn. You can't beat that. We're going to play with 2 of them. We hit it, great. We don't, we discard it. We rock and roll. A Faceless Knight for some stealth. Forgotten Labyrinth for some stealth. 3 Freak Drives for unlocks. Gotta have it. How about a Hag's Wrinkles? We're going to be playing just the Obfuscate version. It's only usable during an equip action, and it gets you +2 stealth. Gives you the +2 stealth, and it don't cost you anything. And since we're doing a lot of equipping, why not stick a Hag's Wrinkles in there? Because you might need the extra +2 stealth to do the equip. So there you go. Don't cost me anything. I know that it's only usable for that, but then so is something like Forgotten Labyrinth too. Because you got to remember, a lot of people play with a lot of Forgotten Labyrinths. But it's not usable for a bleed action. Okay, so you're using it mainly in this deck for hunts, and you're using it for equips. Okay, so Hag's Wrinkles, we're using it for the equip. Okay, we're going to play with a Pocket Out of Time. It's a Temporis and an Obtenebration card. At the Obtenebration, it says burn 1 blood to get +1 stealth. That's not anything we're using. But with the Temporis, at the inferior, you get a +1 stealth. At the superior, usable after combat. After any combat this action, this vampire can burn 1 blood to start a new combat with the opposing minion if both combatants are still ready. So if you wanted to do that, you could. I use it most of the time for the stealth, but there you go. Spy Mission, stealth, and of course save a prey a bleed and get a bleed down the road. And then finally, a Tangle Atropos Hand. This is a Temporis Potence card, okay? Only usable if a minion attempts to block. It's going to cost you a blood. At the Potence, cancel the action and unlock this vampire. This action is not blocked. And then do not look at the block, and then do not lock the blocking minion, I should say. At the Temporis, you're going to, just as above, you're going to get the same thing. But if an action card was played, take it back into your hand, discard down afterwards. And at the Superior, okay, as above all of that, and this vampire gets +1 stealth during their next action this turn. So it's another way to kind of get out of a combat and generate a stealth. That's really what we're talking about. Get out of a combat and generate a stealth. So that's really what we're looking at trying to do with that. And that is our modifiers. Now let's go to an action modifier combat. We got 1 Swallowed by the Night. There you go. Reactions, 4 deflections, 2 telepathic misdirection. This is just merely 2 bounce bleeds. Of course, you could play, with other types of defense tech, like delayed tactics and stuff like that. I've just chose not to play things like direct intervention or delayed tactics in this particular version. I have played with them before, using a DI and using a delayed tactics to help protect yourself against a vote when you don't have a vote deck. It's pretty strong, but there's a lot of voting, and there's a lot of titles on the table that you'd be delaying all day as far as I'm concerned. So in this particular version, for casual play, I'm just not worried about it. Hey, if you just vote me off the table, you vote me off the table. So I'm not worried about it. But I am worried about bleeding because everybody bleeds. It's like, what is that REM song? Everybody hurts, everybody bleeds. There you go. So, a little song from the waterdog to you. 100th episode, man. There you go. All right. And so that's our reactions. There are 6 of them. Combat, we got 10 combat cards. We got 4 Majesty. That's just to protect ourselves. And 6 outside the hourglass. And here we go. That's the card that combos off with the Domain of Evernight. It's a Temporis and an Obfuscate card. At the Obfuscate, it's a strike dodge. Okay. At the inferior Temporis, it's maneuver or strike dodge with 1 optional maneuver. Don't forget that you can always play the inferior if you need to. Okay. And then at the superior, only usable before range is determined. Inflict 2 damage on the opposing minion. The vampire can only play 1 outside the hourglass at superior each round. So what you do is, when you get to the determined range, before you hit that phase, before it says only usable before range is determined, okay? So you do your before range. This is when you would then play the card. Now, when you take an action, let's say you're going to equip with a sport bike and they decide to block. You can then play your Domain of Evernight, okay? And you're going to play it at the inferior. If this action is blocked, all damage done to vampires and the resulting combat is aggravated, okay? And then before range, you play your outside the hourglass card. You're going to inflict 2 damage. Well, guess what? That damage is aggravated. They're going to Topor, and you haven't even gotten to range yet, unless they can prevent the damage. Now, if they prevent the damage, that's a whole other story. But if they can't prevent the damage, there you go. This is a way to also get by strike combat ends. It's one of the reasons why it's, you'll see a lot of people play the Shalmuth deck, because the Shalmuth deck is just really strong. He's a true Brujah 10 cap that unlocks every turn. He's got an unlock every turn. He was built for Inkelkog, okay? And so what he does is he takes actions to combat, okay, over and over and over again, and gets into as many combats as he can possibly get into, and send as many vampires to Topor as he can possibly send to Topor, get an Inkelkog, and then all of a sudden then sends you to Topor. You've got no vampires for defense, and then he can then just simply bleed you to death with his Inkelkog. Really, really strong. He's won a few tournaments. Let me just check the deck. Let's just tournament winning database. Let's see. How many tournaments he has won? 10. Most recently, according to the database, he's won 2 tournaments this year. He won 1 tournament in 2023, 1 tournament in 2022, 1 tournament in 2020. Before that, 2013, he has 1. In 2012, he's got 4. But he's been on the rise here these last few years. And I understand that there were people playing him, at the European Championships too. So just a really, really, really good vampire. So he's seen a lot of action. Our guy, Al, in case you were wondering, has only been in 3 tournament winning decks. And 1 in 2015, 1 in 2013, 1 in 2011. And so it's been a while since he's really been active. But when I look at the deck list, he's mainly played with a lot of big cap vampires, okay? And stuff. And he's basically, a sidekick. He's not the main vampire. God's Witness is the main vampire in those decks. Al-Muntaquim, God's Witness, is the main guy that they build around, and they make it more of a type of political combat deck more than anything else. But the Avenger is low on the totem pole when it comes to that deck. And so he really hasn't been the tournament-winning vampire as a standalone kind of guy. But I love him, and I love this deck. It's a fun deck to play. So let's get back to it. But that's how the combat package works. Okay. Now we're going to go to events. There are 6 events that we're going to play, these Gehenna events. I have played as much as 12, of these Gehenna event cards. If you go to episode 29, okay, of our channel, I break down, you know, the event cards on that. I kind of go through practically everything. I go through what you get in the Echoes of Gehenna, and we kind of go through all of those major events. I kind of break down what cards were played in what tournaments and stuff, and this, that, and the other, and stuff. So you can actually look at that. That's a good episode to really kind of look at those cards. That's episode 29, Echoes of Gehenna, to where you can really go through the events. But we're only going to use 6 because this is, like I said, this is toolboxing. I'm going to be timing out my Afifa. The main way I'm going to be doing damage in this deck is to be bleeding more than anything else. It's just, you know, beef myself up to bleed and then do a little bit of defense if I need to. But really beef up the bleed and do some pull damage with these events. So the first event we're going to do is a blood trade. Okay, Gehenna, it's to burn all boons. No more boons can be put in play. During each Methuselah unlock phase, that Methuselah can move 1 blood from a vampire they control to a vampire controlled by another Methuselah. So it's actually not bad. It gets rid of all those, you know, major boons and life boons. Okay, you got those life boons. You know, European players like to play life boons. So if you're a European player, here's a way to kind of solve some of that right there. Get rid of all the boons, and you know, it's a Gehenna card. It feeds right into Afifa. You're going to do a point of damage, and then you get to unlock Al. There you go. The next one is Break the Code. Imbued, get -1 intercept when attempting to block monsters. A ready monster can enter combat with an imbued as a D action. This is probably not going to hit anybody. In this version of the deck, I'm trying to use Gehenna cards that don't cost me or slow me down. By the same token, if it hurts somebody else, since I'm not playing boons, you know, I'm going to play, you know, blood trade. And if you're playing imbued, guess what? I've got to break the code. So there you go. So I'm trying to have cards that cost me. I want to try to keep my hand size as much as possible and do that. All right. NRA pack is a government card. It's not a Gehenna card, so you don't get the bonus. But what you do get with an NRA pack is any minion successfully performs an equip action and unlocks at the end of the turn. So I can get an unlock with my British Museum, and then at the end of the turn, because I equipped, I can unlock again. Pretty good. Pretty good. So let's kind of put this in motion here. Let's say I equip with an Aaron Feeding Razor. I unlock with British Museum. I equip with Blood Tears of Kefren. Okay? I unlock with the Domain of Evernight. Okay? I equip with a Changeling Skin Mask. I unlock with a Freak Drive. I equip with a Sargon Fragment. I unlock with a Clotho's Gift. Okay? I equip with a Palatial Estate at the end of my turn because I have, you know, the NRA pack in play. I unlock. That's how it works. See? It's just... There you go. Just a fun deck. You get to take a lot of actions. You get to do some wacky little things and have fun with that. Restricted Vitae, Gehenna card. Do not replace until a vampire successfully hunts. So once a vampire successfully hunts, probably you, you can replace. Vampires cannot hunt unless they must hunt. Vampires who must hunt can steal a blood from a younger vampire as a hunt action. Okay? If you need to. So that's always a viability. Okay? Fun card. Rise of the Naphtali. Gehenna card requires one or more other Gehenna events in play. Do not replace until a vampire becomes a liaison. So I put it into play, do a pull of damage, unlock my Al. Next turn, independent vampires can receive the unique independent title of liaison worth 4 votes as an action. If this title would be contested with a younger vampire, the younger vampire immediately yields instead of contesting. So, I put this into play. I'm an independent vampire. Okay? I become a liaison and I got 4 votes. This is a way to also have some sense of voter protection. It will help you mostly if you get heads up against a voting deck that can't generate the votes that it needs and stuff. And so that helps a little bit for that. So to have the four votes and to have a say at the table is not bad, and it plays into what you do. Okay, there you go. And last but not least, Torpid Blood. Gehenna, do not replace until a vampire moves from Topor to the ready region. Actions performed by vampires in Topor cost +1 blood. Rescuing an older vampire from Topor costs +1 blood. I'm often looking at the table and seeing where I'm at, before I play it. But there you go. So you've got ways to increase your hand sizes with this deck. You've got the mechanic of using, the Herald and the Avenger together. You got Sennadurek for some basic protection, because with her in play, when the edge passes, she's unlocking, she's looking at hands. So that gives you an idea of kind of what's going on, and she can then bounce. So there's just a lot of fun mechanics in this deck. Like I said, this is just a toolbox version. This toolbox version I'm going to be playing with is mainly to bleed more than anything else and just kind of have fun. I've got combat decks. I don't want to sit there and play the combat version of this, but if you wanted to, you just throw you some bum rushes and harasses and stick you a whole bunch of outside the hourglasses and a whole bunch of Domain of Evernights in there, and you just go crazy. I mean, you could do that. You could play it the Shaman style if you want to, but I like it a little bit more toolboxy and just having fun with it. But there you go. Hey, gang, 100 episodes. I really appreciate y'all watching the channel. I appreciate the feedback. Please hit me up on the YouTube channel and give me feedback, positive, negative, whatever. Just say hello even, man. We're going to be continuing some things that I've been doing here over the last few years. I've got some interviews lined up, so I've got some Hall of Famers I'm going to be interviewing and getting their feedback on the game and what they like and what they don't like. We've got, some more top 10. I am fixing to do my last top 10 countdown of the year. I wanted to get all of the sets before Black Chantry took over, really. Okay, and the last one we've got is the Heiress to the Blood. We're going to do the top. We've got top 10s coming up next year. I got different ways to do top 10 vampires, and we've got our 4-packs that we're going to be doing next year as well. So a lot of fun things. We're going to be trying to record some of the games. We've got something that we're calling Thursday Night Struggle. Where we're recording our Thursday night casual games and then letting you see those casual games being played. So we're going to be trying to do some of that as well. So like I said, a lot of things in store for next year. Looking forward to. I appreciate you watching. Man, I am the Water Dog. This is Reading Between the Lines. And folks, guess what? I always say this, and I mean it. Y'all take care.